Hello and welcome to Crypto Tips. In this video, you're going to find out what is the Bitcoin halving. And I'll also be talking about the upcoming Bitcoin halving event in May of 2020 and what that could mean for the price of Bitcoin based on historical data, the real facts. And hey, if this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Claudio and this is Cryptoshin, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials, and interviews. Now, before we can go into the Bitcoin halving explanation, you first need to understand how Bitcoin works with the underlying technology of blockchain. So in order to first own any Bitcoin, you first need to create a wallet. Once you create that wallet, you will have a public address and you will have a private key. You could think of the private key as the equivalent of a PIN code for your bank card. In order to do any kind of transactions from your Bitcoin wallet, you will need that private key. Without the private key, you don't own the Bitcoin. It's not yours. Now, the public address is used to receive Bitcoin. So, for example, if you want to buy from an exchange, you need to use your public address in order to send Bitcoin from that exchange to your address. Once that Bitcoin is sent, a transaction is generated on the blockchain. That transaction is actually stored in a block of data. That block of data needs to get verified by the so-called miners, which are computers that are verifying many transactions. The fastest miner to complete the whole block by verifying all the transactions on that block of data will be rewarded. Now, historically speaking, when Bitcoin was first created in early 2009 by the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto, or the group named Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody knows yet, the block reward for the miners was 50 Bitcoin. That is a lot. Now, in the actual code of Bitcoin, it is meant to drop that reward every 4 years on average. Now, as we can see here in this article, which is very clearly explained in a table of the different halving events, we can see that the first halving occurred on the 28th of November 2012, and the block reward was dropped in half to 25 Bitcoins per block. So this is what Bitcoin halving actually means. Now, the following event was on the 9th of July of 2016, and it dropped the reward to 12.5 Bitcoins per block. It also tells you how many Bitcoins were created from these block rewards every single halving, right? In between the halvings. This is how many Bitcoins we've got between all these different events. So that is pretty cool. Now, the third halving, which is expected to happen in the week commencing 18th of May of this year, 2020, will mean that the reward will drop to 6.25 Bitcoins per block for the miners. So, does that mean that the price will actually grow? And why is it that the price will actually grow? Well, it's simple. Based on historical data, because Bitcoin becomes more and more scarce, it also causes the price to grow because more people want Bitcoin. Those people that are already own Bitcoin and don't want to sell it will mean that the people that are new in the space and want to buy Bitcoin will have less Bitcoin to buy, and they will buy it at a higher rate, at a higher price. So let's have a quick look at this chart and actually compare it with the initial Bitcoin halving, which was on the 28th of November 2012. So if we go here to 2012, okay, we can see the price of Bitcoin around the halving was just over $12.50, right? Now, it wasn't until October that the price really picked up, right? So it took a while. It took a while for it to happen. October of 2013, so that was quite some time, right? But if we go to March, we can already see that the price more than doubled, right? So that is an example of why the Bitcoin halving causing scarcity and more demand for Bitcoin has caused the price to grow, right? So we can see here that it really took off in 2013, right? As it was less and less scarce. And more people, of course, found out about Bitcoin too. So let's move on and look at the second halving, and that was on the 9th of July 2016. So if we go to July 2016 here, we could see the price was trading at around over $650, right? It wasn't until February of 2017 that the price really took off and almost doubled. And then, of course, as you know, we had the bull run in 2017, which has caused the price to go all the way up to 18K, close to 19K actually. So the question is, will we see another upswing like that sometime after the Bitcoin halving? As you can see, historically speaking, it did take a number of months, more or less 5 to 6 months, before we saw a price growth, a price spike. Now, could we potentially see a huge price spike around October 2020, November 2020? Will that be a big catalyst? Will the news media be talking about the halving? Because as you know, the halving is as an important event. So because it's an important event, it could be that because most news media will talk about it, it will attract attention. And by attracting attention, it will mean price spikes. Of course, whales can also manipulate the price. So it's very hard to know exactly. It is speculation. Do take it as speculation and don't take it as financial advice. You should always do your own research and do check the disclaimer on the description of the video. But in my opinion, I do think it's going to grow probably 5 to 6 months after the halving. So towards the end of 2020, we could see a huge price surge simply because history tends to kind of repeat itself. If this would have only happened one time and not the second time, then I would have been a bit suspicious that maybe it's not necessarily going to happen, right? But the fact that it happened twice, it's very likely that this could happen again, right? So yes, let me know what you think in the comments below. What is your opinion? Do you think the price is going to surge? And if yes, when exactly do you think that will happen? Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.